Punch Man 87, Monster Nature, was good. I'm just gonna talk about yeah, let's just talk. So, the chapter starts off with quite an interesting topic on its own. It starts off with a group of people marching around S-City just saying, oh, humans we're doomed, we can't beat these. After the pathetic display that was shown by the Hero Association, we can't beat these monsters. Our only hope of surviving is to join the monsters, to work for them, to submit and be their slaves. It's our only way to live, and that's only through sacrificing people on the regular. So what was interesting about this whole human monster sacrifice issue was how realistic it seemed. Like, I could see a lot of people using this as an actual theme for like a manga or something. This was just a side bit in One Punch Man, and I just actually really enjoyed this because I could see this kind of thing happening in real life, and it's quite worrisome, like, people's attitude about it, and it is down to, like, just in general disrespect, like, not respecting people's opinions. Like, that one guy, sure, he disrespected them, was like, hey, fuck off, no one's gonna join the monsters, which is the right attitude to have. But he should have at least respected, well, it wasn't the best opinion to have. And they go, right, okay, that's fine, because you're gonna be our first sacrifice to the monsters. Get him. And they, like, just from disagreeing with their opinions, they're like, right, okay, this guy doesn't agree with us, so we're gonna kill him. That's not the right attitude to have. And I think it's a bit on everyone's side. So, if Garo wasn't there, that guy would probably been sacrificed, and that was a great Garo moment where he just flicks them and he goes, you guys seriously don't understand what monsters are like. Because the monsters themselves have shown no signs of, oh, we'll let you live if you sacrifice for every day. Like to give us a sacrifice every day or every week. They don't say anything like that. Because the monsters, they want to rampage and kill and destroy. It's in their nature. Once you become a monster, that's what you want. So it's very interesting to see how these people are, like how they don't know enough. And it's true, that's partially the hero's responsibility to join up and go, you know, if there's a monster, you know, avoid them, things like that. And I don't know if there's ever been an incident with a monster who's shown more than, like, we've seen smart monsters, sure, and monsters that can at least talk. And have a certain level of intelligence, but none of them seem to be like, oh sure, if you work for me, then by all means, you don't have to die. And it's partially, when I say it's partially the Hero Association fault, I mean in the sense of they're not encouraging humanity. And to be fair, from what we see as well, a lot of humanity is carrying on like normal. And you got that guy on the news who's like, you know, it's just because the monsters are attacking doesn't mean this kind of behaviour can stand. It's despicable that people can think this. Which is true, and a lot of people are carrying on their ways. But I suppose humanity, like most of humanity, it's different sides. So, like with most of the humans, they're carrying on with most of their lives. Most people just carry on like they would on a normal day. And true, like, that might be the best thing to do, to say, you know, to have faith in the Hero Association and go, they've got this. Because I imagine quite a few of them understand that, you know, the S-Class heroes came and wiped them out. And as I'm sure a lot of people knew, well, the news has probably been spread that King defeated Elder Centipede, a giant monster, and they should have some faith because of that. But still, I think they could do some more to help. At the very least, it doesn't have to be that, but I think humanity needs to step up and help the Hero Association a little bit and be like, hey, what can we do to help? This is a big crisis. And, like, you know, just like volunteers, disaster relief, you know, just giving people food and water to hand out to help with the relief. That's all they need. I mean, that's it in any case. Yeah, like I said. But at the very least, I think they need to come out, like, the Hero Association needs to make a statement and go, hey, guys, we've got this covered, don't worry about it. To bring peace so this kind of behaviour doesn't happen. Especially because we have guys like, honestly, if Garo wasn't there for most of the chapters, some people would have been hurt or maybe even killed. Like, but yeah, I think even if just King came out and said, look, I've got this, he doesn't have to mean it, as long as he knows, like, Saitama's got this, that's all he'd have to do. I just think that makes sense to me. That's what the Hero Association could have done to help in this scenario. But at the very least, the relationship between the police and the Hero Association seems to be better because they're now working together to, like, protect people, which is good after that chapter with the police and McCoy and all of that. So I imagine that's what the C-Class and some B-Class heroes are going to be doing, the lower ranks of them at the very least. Well, it's going to be the S and A-Class heroes and the top B-Class heroes who are going to end up fighting the monsters. In any case, so we're not going to, don't expect like a Orochi versus Moon Rider fight. Don't let that happen. We need him alive. Just, that was a cool moment as well. I forgot, that was just really cool actually, where the guy's like super drunk and he wants to go to the restaurant And Goro's trying to get into the restaurant, and he's like, oh, who cares? We're all going to die anyway. And he comes to beat up this old man. And Goro's just like, get out of my way. And he's like, who are you talking to? Pulls out the knife. In the instant, Goro just snaps the blade off, points it directly at his eye, and just goes, out. Love that panel as well, by the way. It was so good. But when Goro gets into the restaurant, he orders this big, juicy steak. And he starts to eat it. He's like, this isn't going to be enough. And he calls the waitress over. He's like, excuse me, I want you to keep bringing me everything from this menu, top to bottom, side and vegetables included. And on top of that, just bring me tons and tons of water. Don't stop it coming. And this, more than anything, is the sign of Goro's growth and transformation into a monster. Because that is not a human appetite. Like, sure, he's been through a lot and he's hungry, which is fully understandable. But still, it shows his transformation into a monster becoming more and more clear, because that is not edible by human standards. And also just the fact he ate all that food and his wounds started to heal as well. He's transformed into a monster. We just don't know what stage he's at. Like, the signs are definitely there that he's becoming a monster. Which would explain his like augmented strength he got at the end of the fight against Bang, and everything like that, which, yeah, and why his eye, like, sure, I just take that as, like, he's, like, something's exploded in his eye, like a blood, like, vessel's exploded, and, you know, his eye's just red now, which makes sense, because of the fight he was in. So, while Goro's eating, we go back to someone. It's the boy, he's there, he's at the same restaurant, by pure coincidence. He's like, oh, that was a good meal, and here's the thing, I like this bit quite a bit. It just, the whole thought in my mind was, so he goes to pay for it, he realises he left his wallet when he went to go buy some cabbage, and he's like, this is my greatest crisis, I can't escape from this. And after that, like, he was gonna go say, oh, I better go explain it to the manager, and then the manager's like, with all the incidents going on, don't worry, we have ex-pro heroes who work here, we crack down on any kind of crimes here, you're all safe to, and he's like, if I go away now, it's going to make me look really bad. It looks as if I'm making an excuse, and I sincerely forgot my wallet. I left it at the supermarket where I went and bought the cabbage. In any case, it just made me laugh so much, where he's like, this is my greatest crisis so far. Is this going to be the end of me? Imagine if that's what happened. If Saitama got arrested for not having food, for not being able to pay for the food, sure, it'd only be a minor thing, but say like, oh, we got to really crack down on crime, we can't let him get away, he's got to serve as an example for how strict we are at the moment with all the monsters, and he goes to jail. How screwed is the entire world if that's the thing that stops Saitama? Meanwhile, while this is all going on, Fubuki shows up. She managed to track him down, and she's like, listen, Saitama, I wasn't done talking to you. I need to speak to you. He's like, what's she doing here? He just doesn't care about her, and I quite like that, because I suppose in traditional shows and stuff, they're like, what's she doing here? And then, like, it'd be like this, like, over-dramatic reaction possible, right? She's like, oh, great, it's her again. It made me laugh. And she's this whole time, this whole time she's trying to talk to him about the Hero Hunter, and I get why he didn't listen now after rereading it, but the whole thing she's saying is, oh, you want information on the Hero Hunter? I can help you out. That's fine. And while that's going on, Saitama orders a plate of chips. He goes like, one plate of large fries, please, and they're like, coming right up. So she's trying to talk to him about the Hero Hunter. She's like, oh, I'll help you as long as you give me 70% of the points you'd get for this, because she wants to cement her rank at B1. She doesn't want to go up any higher, but she wants to stay there at B rank 1. Yes. Here's the thing. She goes on a little speech, and Saitama doesn't listen. You know, oh, we need to work together, things like that. You know, it's dangerous times, and you know, we could probably help out. And Saitama just when the chips come, he just slips them over to her. He's like, here, have one. And she's like, we can do this. We can work together. If we work together, we can help out and do something. She's like, oh, thank you. Saitama's goddamn face. So, as much as I love the hero side of Saitama, where he has these moments where he's serious because someone's insulted what it is to be a hero and how passionate he is about it, I love those moments so much. This is why Saitama's my favourite hero, just like superhero in general. It's because he's also just really human, and not in like the good sense, in the sense of he's like, you've got to pay for it too now, because you've eaten some of it, you're partially responsible for these chips as well. And he's just, his face, he's like, and then Fubuki, she's just like, wow, he must be really excited to work with me. I guess we'll get him to join the Blizzard group now. His little smirk. And my main criticism when I first read it was that Saitama wasn't listening to a whole explanation, and I felt like that was just so he wouldn't join her. But I can kind of justify maybe he's thinking, if they at least did a panel where he's like, how am I gonna, well, I don't know what she's rambling about anyway, how am I gonna deal with this hero hunter to show he's not listening, he doesn't care, or at the very least, if they did something similar where maybe he's just thinking now, how am I going to get her to eat this food? She's got to take responsibility as well. And then the moment she eats it, you just hear, died and dash, she ran, he's escaped. And then Saitama's like, I didn't do it yet, I didn't. And they're like, he's like, oh, I mean, what a despicable villain, I must go after him at once. And Fubuki's like, Saitama, I'm not done talking to you. He's like, you had some of that, you need to take responsibility and pay for it. And she's like, what? Is that? And she figures it out. Oh dear. Fubuki. Poor Fubuki. It was really good though. So just before I go on to the next part of the chapter, there's a point I want to bring up with Fubuki. Now she has that whole speech and she's like, oh, you might get to B class rank 5 if you're lucky, but you won't get any further without me, and you know, basically you can't do anything without me. And the only thing I want to say is, Fubuki, do you remember when you first met Saitama, what was happening? Sure, you two were having a little fight, but there was also a fight between two S-rank opponents, people at the level of S-rank heroes. One was Genos, a certified S-rank, and one was an unknown threat who was going toe-to-toe with Genos. Do you remember who stopped that fight after saving you from being blasted by the incineration? You think she'd remember? You think she would at least go, what? Because she's always said, like, after that, she was like, oh, there's something special about Saitama. There's something going on with him. I need to find out what. But even now, she's like, oh, no, you're useless without me. You can't get any further. But his heroic deeds are what are pushing him further and further. And sure, other people might be getting more of the credit than they deserve. Still, though. So, Goro has escaped from the diner, and he's walking on his way, and he's just thinking about what happened. So, he had the option to wait for his wounds to heal before he had to go out, but he went out beforehand. I'm fairly sure he went out beforehand. Yes, I'd say so, because it's supposed to be the same day as the Elder Centipede fight, which I'm a bit confused about, because apparently it happened in the afternoon, and this is the evening-ish now. To me, I thought this would have been like a day after, or 2 days after this all happened. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but I feel like it's very sudden and soon considering. This was a very, very eventful day in the world of One Punch Man in that case. And so, as he's doing this, he's like, you know, I don't see why I have to take the head of a hero to prove that I'm a monster. It's ridiculous. I'm already enough of a monster as it is. It's basically what he's saying. But at that point, he sees these kids bullying this other kid, and it's his little friend. I don't think we've ever learned the name of that kid who he talks to. Put his name there if there is a name, Matt. But in any case, he's getting bullied. He's like, oh, they didn't take you down? But you're a monster. Everyone pick on the monster. And this kid's crying. Goro sees it. He goes, cut that out! And then obviously the kids run away and Goro goes to check up on him. And here's the thing with Goro, because as he says earlier in the chapter as well, is he has to compliment the Monster Association because they did, despite just doing a half-assed job, you know, and it might be part of their plan, is it's thrown the world into chaos a little bit because we have people acting up, committing crimes, terror, it's taking over the place. So, as Goro said himself, when he makes his appearance as the greatest monster, the terror he brings will be so great that no one will be able to object it, or idiots won't even try and do anything. So for example, there wouldn't be any kind of monster sacrifices or idiots who get drunk and commit crimes, things like that. They'd all have no choice but to bow down because they'd understand that there's no hope and there's no saving them. However, maybe that's what Goro wants. But maybe he wants that for good reasons, because if he does that, then there's no fighting between people, and that's what he wants, maybe? But because he says, like he says, oh, I'm going to be a true monster, I'm going to do this, going to do that, but he still hasn't killed anyone, which is the main thing, I suppose, that separates, to me, from what I've noticed in One Punch Man, he hasn't killed a human yet. Just like Saitama. Saitama kills monsters, that's fine, but he doesn't kill humans at all. He just knocks them out if he ever fights one, or like to a certain degree. It's not very often he does, but he beats them, never kills them, or like takes an arm off or a leg or anything like that. He's never done that so far, and I don't think he will, because I think that's what separates him from being a monster himself. In any case, like I said, Goro keeps trying to become a monster, but then he does these heroic acts. Like, obviously, he saved the guy's life earlier. Like, he saved 2 lives earlier, like, despite not really intending to, because they were just people in his way. But with this kid as well, like, he checked upon the kid. He was like, hey, you okay, man? He's like, ah, I'm fine. And he's just talking to him, and the kid is super appreciative of him. He's like, and he's like, I'm so sorry I left you. I ran away from you before. And he's like, don't worry about it, just get out of here, it's getting dark, you need to go home. And the kid's in tears, and he's so sad. He's like, I'm so sorry I left you. You were a hero back then. He basically does call him it, because what Goro did was heroic. He stepped up, he fought the B-class and A-class heroes and stopped them from killing the kid accidentally. And true, it was partially what he wanted, because he wanted to fight all the heroes off. At the same time, it was a heroic thing he did. And Goro got angry at the idea that he was called a hero. And, you know, you're like, shut up. And then all of a sudden, you hear, hey, you, Diamond Dasher. So it's our boy. It's our boy, Saitama. That whole interaction was really funny. It's like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna let you off this time with a warning. Just don't let it happen again. And then he walks off. Goro is so angry at this. He's like, kids are looking down on me, monsters looking down on me, even low rank heroes looking down on him. He's like, hey, hero, what's your name? He goes, Cape Baldy. He says it so quietly. Just a quick thing, in the official translation, Saitama's name is Bald Cape. I prefer Cape Baldy. Cape Baldy just sounds better. I don't know, it's supposed to be a ridiculous name anyway, but Cape Baldy, just as a superhero name, sounds better than Bald Cape. In any case, as this goes on, even the kid's like, listen, he's letting you off, don't worry about that, just let him go. And this is the kind of the thing, because as I said just a couple minutes ago, I thought maybe this is Goro's plan, but he seems to be resolute now in taking a hero's head. I suppose that was the main thing. I was like, okay, as long as he doesn't kill anyone, I think he's redeemable. In this case, I think when he kills someone, that's it. Then I'm like, okay, now he's the monster that he's going to become. In any case, he goes for Saitama. He's like, I'm going to take a hero's head. Screw the association. Screw that. I don't care. I'm showing my resolve by taking this hero's head. It's no problem for a guy like me. And he runs up to Saitama. Saitama's just like, he's like, hey, you, I'm gonna fucking Bob. I'm sorry, I'm a Diamond Dasher as well, I can't do this, just get out of here. Goro goes flying! No issue whatsoever! And like, and then at that moment, Saitama disappears, he gains consciousness again, he's like, who was that guy? Goro wants to know who that no-name hero was, who one-shot him. We're getting closer to Goro and Saitama realizing who each other are. Like, even if he did, I think that'll be a point in the future. He's like, it's you again, what's your name? Cape Baldy. No, your real name. My name is Saitama. And then he'll remember what Geno said back about Saitama being the strongest. Like, I see, so this is you. This is the hero the S-Class told me about. And that's going to be a moment in the future I'm going to look forward to a lot. Meanwhile, the crows fly everywhere, which is normally a bad omen when birds... It's like when someone gets shot or killed, like birds just to escape. It's like, it's their animal instincts. And Royal Ripper and Bug God show up. And once again, this is why I'm talking about Goro, because Goro, if he really wanted to be a monster, would be like, let this kid die for all I care. But he stayed to stop him, and because Royal Ripper was like, you're no real monster, Goro. I saw that. That isn't you. And even Bug God was like, no, we can't let you get away with this. We're going to have to kill you now. And Goro was just like, kid, get back. Get back. This kid's in tears because he knows who Royal Ripper is. She's a monster. She's a menace. And she's like, oh, I've got plenty of children like you before. And he's like, kid, get back. And it ends with setting up this Goro Royal Ripper fight, which I'm really looking forward to next time. I think, potentially, here's what I think is going to happen. I think Goro's going to fight Royal Ripper, and it's going to be very evenly matched. I think he's going to win, though. I don't know how, because I imagine Royal Ripper's just a better version of Face Cleaver, Face Stealer. I can't remember his name. Put it down here. We've talked about it before. In any case, it's just, I think it's going to be a really awesome fight because it's going to be equally matched. Also, just a quick thing that also kind of is his treatment of Bang, because he's like, you know, when I heard Bang was alive, there was a part of me that was relieved, and I hated that. So he's still got his humanity part of him, which shows how far he is kind of in his monster transformation. I suppose he's slowly becoming this monster, but there's still the humanity that's keeping control of him, where he's like, I can't do any, like, you know, where he's protecting the kids, and he's glad that his master who taught him how to fight is alive. So that's all I'm talking about Garo. Is he good? Is he bad? I hope he's bad, but I really like Garo, and I kind of want him to be good. I don't know. What did you... In any case, I think when Bug God's going to go finish him off, Saitama's in the area. I think Saitama's going to bop him, and from there, I feel like we're going to get where the Monster Association are watching, like, okay, he didn't take down a hero, but he killed 2 demon-class monsters at the same time. He took them on solo. Because I don't think Saitama, for some reason or other, Saitama isn't going to be seen, and they're like, we don't have an excuse. If we let this guy go, we're wasting a huge opportunity, especially after losing 2 demon ranks that we just lost, especially with the 2 demon ranks we just lost because of him. Which is going to let Garo join the Monster Association properly, and then hopefully we'll get onto the main fight between the hero and the Monster Association. It would be cool to see that. In any case, I think that's all I have to say about this chapter. It was good, it was funny, and I'm really looking forward to Garo Royal Ripper. It's gonna be good. What did you think? Let me know down below. I like talking about One Punch Man. If you like this review, give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more One Punch Man, which is, it's kind of on time. It's better than it normally is. In any case, thank you and goodbye. Music, nice. Bye again.